Himus. I came across something recently that really surprised me. Bats live in places you wouldn't expect at first. You can find them in forests, in deep caves, and even in old houses that have been abandoned for years. Some species love humid rainforests, while others prefer dry, rocky landscapes. During the day, they hide in dark and safe spots. And when night arrives, they become active and head out into the darkness. A lot of people think that bats drink blood, but that's only true for a very small number of species. Most bats feed in completely different way. The majority of them eat insects, and often in incredible amounts. A single bat can catch hundreds or even thousands of mosquitoes in one night, helping entire regions avoid insect outbreaks. There are also species that love fruit. They search for sweet, ripe, or slightly fermented fruits, following the scent from far away. When they find one, they sometimes carry pieces with them and spread the seeds across the forest. In this way, they help plants grow and expand, creating a natural cycle that has existed for millions of years. Other bats drink nectar and pollinate flowers, almost like little nighttime bees. Without them, many plant species would not survive. And then there are the fish-hunting bats, gliding over the water and catching small fish with their claws. Their diet is far more diverse than most people imagine, and every species has its own special way of finding food. When hunting, bats rely on an ability that almost feels like magic. They send out short, precise calls and listen to how the sound returns to them. From these echoes, they create a three-dimensional picture of their surroundings, far more detailed than anything their eyes could prove. Some species hunt with incredible speed, changing direction in an instant as they sense an insect end. Others prefer a calmer approach, gliding silently through the night and striking only at the very last moment. There are even bats that pick up their prey directly from the ground, guided by the faint rustling of small animals in leaves. Other specialized species hunt over water, detecting tiny ripples that reveal the position of a fish. Every species has developed its own technique, perfectly adapted to life in complete darkness. Even though bats can barely see, they possess an amazing combination of abilities that help them survive in the night. Their sense of smell is far better than most people imagine. They can detect fruits that are beginning to ferment long before a human would notice anything. This scent guides them across long distances to their food sources. Many species also rely on their sense of touch. The tiny hairs on their wings react to the slightest movements in the air, helping them sense insects or obstacles nearby. And then there is their ultrasound, their famous echolocation system. They send out short calls and listen to how the sound returns, creating a precise picture of their surroundings. With this ability, they can find insects, judge whether a fruit is ripe, and avoid branches in complete darkness. Some species even combine all these senses at once, reading the night like an open book. When it comes to mating, bats show behaviors that can differ greatly between species. Some males call loudly to attract females, almost like little singers of the night. Others gather at special places where several males compete for the attention of a single female. These gathering spots can be noisy and chaotic, filled with calls, wing beats, and quick movements. There are also species where the females choose the moment and select the strongest or most skilled male. After mating, many females can store the sperm for months, waiting for the perfect season to raise their young. When the baby is finally born, it is tiny, hairless, and completely dependent on its mother. It clings to her fur and stays close, even when she flies through the night. The mother recognizes her baby by its scent and voice, even among hundreds of others. Only when it becomes strong enough does it begin its first short flights, discovering the world of the night. Darling, tell me, how do you know all of this? It sounds creepy and interesting at the same time. Do you know even more about these animals? I once heard something about a hammer-headed bat. Do you know anything about that? Well, a lot of it comes from the internet, from books, and from many articles I've read over the years. Once you start learning about bats, you quickly realize how incredibly diverse they are. There are more than 1,400 species, each with its own unique traits. The hammer-headed bat, for example, is one of the most unusual species. The males have a large, wide head that almost looks like a helmet, and it helps amplify their mating calls. They gather in certain places in the forest and call out to attract females, producing sounds that can travel long distances. But many other bats also have remarkable abilities. Some navigate through sound alone, others through smell or tiny movements in the air. The more you learn about them, the more you realize how complex and fascinating they truly are. Bats are not only skilled hunters, but also surprisingly social animals. Many species live in large groups called colonies, which can range from a few dozen individuals to several thousand. Within these colonies, there is a constant mix of sounds, movements, and scents that may seem chaotic to us, but it forms a clear system for them. Each bat recognizes others by their scent and the subtle sounds they make. 6 mothers can even find their own baby among hundreds of others, guided only by its unique smell and voice. Some species show remarkable cooperation, sharing food with bats that were unlucky during the night. They remember who helped them and return the favor later, showing that bats have impressive memory and social awareness. Even when resting, they stay close together, warming each other and staying alert for danger. For bats, the colony is more than a shelter. It is a complex social network that helps them survive in the world of the night. Darling, tell me, do you think vampires exist? Or vampire bat? That's an interesting question, because many people immediately connect bats with vampire. The truth is, real vampires, like in movies or stories, don't exist. But there are vampire bats, only 3 species in the entire world. They live in Central and South America and are much smaller than most people. Imagine. These bats do drink blood, but not in the dramatic way shown in horror films. They quietly approach large animals like cows or horses at night, make a tiny cut in the skin, and simply lick the blood. The cut is so small that the animal barely notices it, and the bat only drinks a few milliliters, just enough to survive. What's even more surprising is how social they are. If one bat doesn't find food, others share their blood meal with it, remembering who helped them and returning the favor later. The connection to vampires comes from old stories, created long before people understood how bats really live. In reality, they are intelligent, fascinating animals, far less frightening than their reputation suggests. Bats play a far greater role in nature than most people realize. They are not just hunters of the night, they are helpers, pollinators, and silent protectors of our environment. Insect-eating bats keep mosquito and pest populations under control. Without them, many regions would be overwhelmed by insects, causing serious problems for humans as well. Fruit-eating bats spread seeds across long distances, helping forests grow and regenerate. Some tropical plants rely entirely on bats to survive. Nectar-drinking bats pollinate flowers that bloom at night, acting as nighttime versions of bees. Without them, many plant species would simply disappear. When you look at the bigger picture, it becomes clear that bats are an invisible engine of nature, working quietly in the dark, yet essential for life on Earth. So my love, that's everything I can tell you about bats for today. They are fascinating creatures, mysterious and important for nature, even if they sometimes look a little vampire-like. But that's exactly what makes them so special. Tomorrow, I'll bring you the next story. It will be about the giant millipede. And yes, I'm already excited to explore that one with you. For now, we end with your final image, the one with the pulsing subscribe and like buttons.